Joining me at the lead is Dr. V. Ramasubramaniam. He's an infectious diseases expert, and he's also on the panel of the Tamil Nadu state's expert panel that overseeing the strategy for COVID-19. Dr. Ramasubramanian, thank you very much. My first question to you: you've written in the Times of India that a quote by Marlon Brando that if you're not your brother's keeper, at least do not be his executioner. Can you just tell us how this relates to COVID and the situation in Chennai and 3 other districts here right now?
See, there is more and more evidence coming up that wearing masks universally amongst the public plays a major role in curtailing the number of infections which can be transmitted. We are finding that there are a lot more people who are asymptomatic who can play a role in transmitting the infections. And similarly, the masks also protect to a certain extent from us getting an infection. In other words, the major protection of mask is to prevent transmission of infection from an infected patient to the others, and a less important role in protecting ourselves. So if everybody wears a mask, the chances of a person transmitting the infection knowingly or unknowingly is significantly limited. So I reiterate, the idea of wearing a mask is to ensure that the infection is not transmitted more than protecting ourselves. That's why I said, at least if we are not our keeper, by not wearing a mask, let us not cause danger to our elderly people who may be living at home, or our neighbors who may be not as fortunate as we are with regard to mild infections or recovering from infections.
Doctor, the panel that you're part of has recommended another lockdown, a 12-day lockdown. And this is because Tamil Nadu seems to be hitting the peak. So what's the logic behind the second lockdown? Because a lot of people are saying that, a lot of other experts are saying that a lockdown will only delay things. So you might as well tackle the infection and move on.
Let me again clarify one thing here. The expert panel did not recommend a complete lockdown in Tamil Nadu. Okay. The advice from each of the panel members were sought for, and a majority of us felt that because even a previously existent 2.5-month lockdown has not made much difference, it is now coming to a stage where the livelihood of people is being affected. Whenever people are anxious and stressed, they act irrationally. So the chances that they will think and act optimally is very, very minimized. There will be an increase of unemployment. There is an increase of domestic violence. So keeping all this in mind, a complete standardized lockdown may not be the answer. We probably need to fine tune it so that we can more zoom in and focus on containment areas and ensure that in these areas, the lockdown is ruthlessly enforced. This was what the majority of us felt. There was some discrepancy in the views between the experts, but our duty is only to advise the government. The government takes into several other things into consideration, and then after or just after the cabinet meeting, they decided that they probably had to enforce a complete lockdown. So I don't think that it is correct to put the blame of the lockdown entirely on the expert committee, though we all agreed that the cases are on the rise, the peak is yet to come, the dark days are still ahead of us, and we need to be careful. And most importantly, every one of us should be disciplined to take care that we do our part in controlling the virus.
When you're talking about being disciplined, the administration has been talking to us, and we have also written about this repeatedly, that there is an attitudinal problem in many parts of Chennai, or rather probably, in pretty much the whole of Chennai, where people feel that it's just a cold and, it's not a big deal. And I think the health secretary yesterday told me that 15 to 20% of the people in Chennai are not wearing masks. How do you tackle something like this, an attitudinal issue?
See, the government, as far as I can see, has played taken a lot of effort in putting this down. They have taken advice from the expert panel. They have organized various other departments and divisions headed by IAS officers to put it in check. And they have distributed free masks. They have ensured quarantine and good care during quarantine. They are incentivizing people who are quarantined. we are making it very clear. Even during my last meeting and this meeting, I said that an early access to care, so that you don't wait till you become terminally ill and then land up in a hospital where your chances are going to be poor with regard to outcomes. All this has been entirely mentioned. The CM is also very, very particular in educating the public on the importance of mask usage and staying physically distanced and avoiding crowds. But like you said, very unfortunately in Chennai, there has been a very poor adherence to all these measures. So I think everybody is at their wits' end to see what more can be done, or how things can be done differently to educate the public and instill in them some sort of responsibility. Because it's come to a stage where all of us, I would say, are pretty fed up. Because you walk out, you see most of the people without a mask. Those who wear a mask are wearing it here, around here. Especially when you are in public places and in crowds, you need to avoid crowds, but still you see people thronging, fish markets and chicken stalls and vegetable vendors. I think this is something beyond what a government can do. This is something up to the citizens, and expecting the government and blaming the government, unfortunately, I don't agree with. Whether it's the central government or state government, I think everybody has limitations in what they can do. I think the government is thinking of a different way to see whether this can be put in people's mind. Like you said, the attitudinal change, I don't have an answer.
Yes, that's exactly the message we're getting as well, that, we're struggling with the messaging, we're struggling with getting people to cooperate. Having said that, where do you see this trend going? You're saying that we've not yet hit the peak. When do you expect to hit the peak, and when is this going to come down?
In Chennai, let me tell you, India is not a uniform country. Mumbai, Delhi, and Chennai are ahead of the curve. So we have already taken off, zooming ahead much faster, and I expect this will continue for another 3 to 4 weeks before we start coming down on the numbers. This is because whomever people have already been infected will take another 10 days to 2 weeks to manifest the symptoms. The containment is going to be difficult. Personally, I am not very confident that this extra 12 days of containment is going to make a big difference, but I am not a public health expert either. So I expect this will go up for another 4 weeks and then come down. I also expect that this is going to be the scene in most of the other cities and states in the coming weeks and months. So if Chennai has reached this, Bangalore has got to reach this 2 months down the road. Hyderabad will be 1 month, 2 months down the road. Other cities will follow suit. Okay, so I'll be very surprised and very happy if that doesn't happen. But I think this is going to be how each of the states or each of the cities are going to slowly come down. If not the first wave, the second wave, the third wave is around the corner.
And as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, you've also warned that a second wave is around the corner. Can you explain that, please? I'm expecting a second wave maybe 3 months after the first wave. It may be less intense than the first wave, but yes, it will come. Like I said, I'll be very happy if I'm proved wrong. But, the virus adheres to laws of physics, biology, and chemistry. And I don't think it is going to bend itself to public policy or people's wishes. Fair enough. Doctor, any last thoughts that you might like to add on the subject? Apart from, of course, all of us are waiting and watching to see what's going to happen. But your last thoughts on the subject?
See, to me, it seems a bit of a paradox that on one side, we are all worried and scared to death about this virus. On the other, so to the extent that people go around buying oximeters and checking their oxygen levels 3 times a day, even if they are healthy. And on the other hand, you find people walking around with gay abandonness, just not bother about their welfare or the welfare of others. As I said, this needs an attitudinal change, a behavioral change if we are going to beat this. And you need to unite. It is not the government's responsibility. The opposition has to join with the government. The police has to join with the corporation. The corporation has to join with the Department of Public Health. Unless everybody unites with the same idea that they're going to fight this virus, we are not going to win. The virus is too smart for us to think that, minimal measures, rapid fixes will take care of this. Whether we do testing or not, the cases will be on the rise. So stopping testing, give a false idea that there are less number of cases, not acceptable. Similarly, we need to face this. We need to equip the people and the healthcare industry to handle this better. If not Chennai today, as I said, it will be Calcutta tomorrow. It will be Hyderabad the day after. So we need to expect and plan accordingly.
My last and final question, and I promise this is the last one. There have been reports of Oxford trials which have shown that dexamethasone, a steroid, a low-cost steroid, is showing some results in terms of curing COVID-19, at least to some extent, especially the high-risk patients. So I believe that Tamil Nadu is already using a higher variant of the steroid. So do you have any inputs to add on that, Doctor?
Yes, I wouldn't say a higher variant. It's a different kind of steroid called methylprednisolone, available as Solumedrol. We have been using it for the last couple of months. Doses of usually 0.5 to 1 milligram per kilogram per person per day for a minimum of 3 days, maximum of 4 to 7 days. We do find if it is used in the correct selection of patients at the appropriate time when they are beginning to deteriorate and their oxygen requirements are going up, that time, if you use these steroids, they turn around. We are very happy, but unfortunately, unlike Oxford, we have not done a double-blind study to prove that. We also know that the longer use of steroids will increase the risk of infections. So you have to be careful in whom you're using, when, and what dose you're using to get the best out of it. It is promising, so I'm not surprised by the dexamethasone study, but I think we need to do more studies here. Unfortunately, our clinical commitments are too overwhelming for us at this stage. But we need to do the study, and there is a role for steroids. I feel it will help if used correctly.
Great. Are we planning to use dexamethasone?
I think yes, since we have a definite study, we may move over from methylprednisolone to dexamethasone the coming days for our patients.
Great. Thank you so very much, Doctor. And good luck, and thank you for your fight on behalf of the whole of Tamil Nadu against the virus. Thank you very much.